Eeny, meeny, Eddie.
The 4.0 the
Where have
HBCU is
Friday?
not
First off, where have
equivalent.
Friday tweets at, man? Nigga, are you on
Ooh.
PWI Twitter? Are you on racist Twitter?
Let me read it. Let me read it. A 4.0 at HBCU is not equivalent to a 4.0 at a rigorous PWI. No shade being thrown, but that's the truth! Exclamation point.
Anti-blackness is everywhere. Niggas don't take
Wow.
pride in nothing.
Mm.
You
Oh,
know, what's interesting is when you have Negroes like this, um, and I don't trust her either. She's an AKA. But when you have Negroes like
You
this,
looking for their sign first. I didn't even see that
um,
shit.
who expound upon how much this and that isn't good just because it's black, right? Back to Kenny's metaphor about, white ice being colder. That's bullshit, right? Because some of the greatest scholars to ever be known are black people, right? Right. Let's look at the education system. Most of it is geared off of African teachings and African universities. The first universities ever existed in Africa. The Greeks stole all of that shit and moved it over to Europe. So, in terms of the platform, the way in which the design of classrooms are put right now is based upon African structure slash infrastructure, right? So all of this shit, oh, it's more rigorous at a PWY. Why? Because it's crackers.
that's it. That's it.
Because
I'm telling you.
they made it seem like, oh, like if you come here, this and that, yada yada yada. It's like, no, some of the greatest professors I've ever learned from are all at HBCUs. I went to NYU for my grad school, and I was tearing them crackers to pieces. Every class is just like because of why. Not only, well, not only because I'm a Negro from the Bronx, but like I had that experience where I had 4 years of understand that you are powerful as well. Understand that your voice matters. So by the time I stepped into classrooms where we're discussing philosophy and all these other deep-rooted, conversations, I'm looking at the black students from PWIs, and they can't speak to no black anything. And that's what we're discussing. Philosophies that are required to have some sort of historical background, right? If we're talking inventions, if we're talking ingenuity, we'd have created everything. So you have a black person with a white mind coming from a PWI into a master's program, and they can't tell you who W.B. Du Bois is.
But that's
They
irrelevant
can.
in a bigger scheme of things. Who W.D. Bois is isn't important,
It
right?
is important,
No,
very
no,
much so
it's
important.
not. So,
But you're talking to technical stuff, though, Corey. You're talking to like middle of the road. All I'm doing is coding. All I'm doing is managerial stuff. All of that, right? But you're not speaking to the whole of a black person in regards to
we're not,
like being present in the real world.
the question was about, is a 4.0 at a black school equivalent of a 4.0 at a white school, and the answer is gonna have to be no, right? And the reason for that is like the white schools are tougher, right? Their curriculum is tougher, right?
Yep.
There are I'm gonna say any, but there are very few black schools cracking the top 100 schools, period, right? So if you're going to a black school, you're already going to a school that's ranked number 300, 400 in the goddamn country. You in Mississippi Valley, bro, that is not the same as getting a fucking 4.0 at fucking Penn or UVA. It's not. Like it's just not. Going to Jackson State and getting a 4.0 ain't the fucking same as getting a 4.0 at Georgetown. It's not.
Is getting a 4.0 at Hampton or Howard the same as getting at UVA?
So there are a couple of black universities that are I respect the like Morehouse's, the Howard,
Spelman.
the Spelman. My wife went to Spelman, so I know about things like. They're cool.
So is it safe to say
I'm just
then
going
the
to say
ratio
that
is
you
the
are
same?
expounding the same regurgitated bullshit that I hear all the time. I went to
Hey,
Clark
bro.
Atlanta. I took classes at Morehouse. You know what I'm saying? Like we take classes, we take classes at each other's schools. That's the one unique thing about the AUC. What I'm
Yeah.
telling you is that all of us have the same mindset around the fact that we
I'm not
love
talking
our
about
black
mindset.
ass
I'm talking
schools.
about intelligence. So a lot of HBCUs, like so where I come from. So when I was in school, Southern University was open enrollment. Like they would take anyone who wanted to go there, right? So the quality of student they have is different than the quality of student at a white school, right?
So they'll take a person with a 1.5 GPA.
They had open enrollment, yes, sir.
But the minimum requirement is 2.5 for all HBCUs. So what are
Again,
you talking about?
I don't know what it is now. I'm telling you, when I was in school, they had open enrollment. Like so the qualifications was much lower. So they have a whole different caliber of student there, right? So to say like the education is the same, the degrees are the same, like it's not.
Okay, well,
Wait,
if that's the
said
case,
2.5?
why does more Black students graduate from HBCUs than PWIs? Why?
Because of sheer numbers. So in my school, it was 2% Black when I went there. So it's only 1,000 of us. Across town at Southern, it's 10,000 of them. Of course,
we're talking about the completion rate. It doesn't matter about how many people. It's the completion rate.
No, it does matter.
The rate.
It's only in the state. So in your state, there's only 5,000 Black kids at a white school. Of course, the HBCUs are going to outnumber them in graduation numbers, just off of sheer numbers, not rate. What are you talking about?
Did you just say 2.5 is the GPA? That's the average GPA of the HBCUs?
That's the minimum, yeah.
The minimum?
No, that's not.
That's even higher. It's higher than that at a PWI. They use 2.8.
First off, that's not.
That's a minimum. That's a minimum. I said the minimum.
If all HBCUs 2.5.
I said minimum.
No,
is 2.5.
So minimum at PWIs are higher than that.
Well, no.
Okay, well, minimum at Howard is higher than
the minimum ain't 2.5.
It is.
The qualifications for public universities aren't going to fluctuate. So whatever the qualification at a public university, whether it's HBCU or not, is going to be the same. What Corey's saying is open enrollment. If you had qualifications, regardless of your application, you're going to get in. That's the point.
That's a fact.
So then maybe it's saying that there are different tiers, whether it's a PWR, an HBC, or an HBC, right? So you have your Ivy League, right? That is the top, the creme de la creme. Then you have your private institutes, and then you also have your public colleges, your state colleges. So I think in general, as a whole, if I took someone from a state HBCU, maybe let's say like a UMES or a Bowie or something, and I compared it to maybe a CCSU in Connecticut, I think they'd be on the same playing field.
So question on that point.
Before you go, because I don't want us to go too far with false stats. I just looked up Gramblin's admissions requirement, and I can screenshot it or put it on the thing. You have to have a minimum of a 2.0, right? Not no 2.5 that Kenneth was talking about, right?
Okay, so what I read was
I can read it for you. It says in-state students must meet the following criteria: must meet 4 curriculum, 19 credits, 4 English, 4 math, 4 social studies, 4 sciences, and a minimum of 2.0 GPA. That's at Grambling State University, which is a
C minus. That's a C minus.
Shit like that.
So you're saying that's a 2.0 for all HBCUs? That's what
I'm saying. I'm saying some of them. You made the all statement. You said all HBCUs it was 2.5. That is absolutely not true. And I know.
Okay, I'll give you that.
That's crazy.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's fine because it's state requirements. Go ahead, Q.
Yeah, I was gonna say no, and also to Alex's point, I think like you're right in that, but I think in general, I think that's what the sister was texting about or tweeting about rather. And to me, the first thing that came to mind was something that me and Miss Nay were talking about earlier today. Actually, is like the difference between public school education and private school education, where you have more resources and the curriculum is geared towards a certain demographic. You're gonna get a better education, and those GPAs hit a little bit different. So that's my opinion, but
that's what's funny about this argument. So Black people sit around all the time and be like, "Oh, we don't have as much education because we don't have the resources." And then now here they trying to act like the schools with more resources don't provide a better education. Sure they do. That's what you've been arguing the whole time. That better resources equal better education. You've argued that.
I'm saying that most of your argument is based on this propping up of whiteness stuff.
Did you argue? Are you arguing that better resources equal better education?
Wow. I didn't say nothing about resources, right?
So that's a yes or no question. This is a yes or no. I'm asking you now. Do better resources?
More resources? Yeah, I was an operations director at an institution of education. I know what you're talking about in terms of resources, yes, but it's still being propagated based upon whiteness being better.
No, I didn't say white.
No, they're talking about resources being better, not white.
If it's strictly resources, then
better resources equal better education. The school with the most resources is probably offering a better education.
Yeah. I can go with you on
his point about HBCUs being underfunded.
And we out.